She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Thanks so much for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about your income and different ways perhaps to increase it. And/or is it really that you need to increase your income? Or is it that you need to have more money left over at the end of the month? I grew up on welfare, hearing my parents fight about money constantly. They always ran out of cash before the next paycheck came. I remember the 1st and the 15th of the month, days before those dates, there was always just bickering and fighting. Well, they didn't make the best choices. My mom and her husband, who adopted me, didn't make the best choices. They blew it on partying a lot. Some drugs. Yeah. Well, that then creates a financial problem, obviously. We're making choices every single day with our money. But if you're wanting to grow your income, or at least you're wanting to grow your bank account, figure out which one that you really want to do. Because people grow their income, but they don't necessarily grow their bank account. There was a couple of years back where I had done something called nuclear coaching. And this is where I took a small group of people through an 8-week cycle of managing their finances and their time, as well as their careers and relationships, where I got the opportunity to work with several people one-on-one every other week. And everybody was held accountable to very strict guidelines to make sure that they were, managing their time correctly, their finances, their relationships, and their career. I was pretty amazed with what I found. One thing I found that most people made plenty of money, but they were choosing not to force their bank account to grow. They were choosing to spend all they were making. In fact, one of my clients was spending $96,000 a month. Yes, $96,000 a month on what? Full-time housekeepers, all kinds of food, eating out pretty much 6 times a week, shopping. I mean, the list went on when she did not even realize that she had spent $96,000 in a single month. She literally had no idea until I called on her, because all of my clients needed to submit their bank statements, and where I analyzed where was their money going. And the goal inside of this 8-week course, it was actually not an 8-week course, but it was 8 sessions. It was every other week. So it was more than 3 months that we got to work together. And the amount of money that people were be able to put away in their bank accounts, how many of them grew their assets in that time period was absolutely phenomenal. How many of them healed their relationships, grew their companies, and or grew in their careers was phenomenal. It's simply because of a very strict accountability that they were held to on a weekly basis. So when it came to this one particular client and literally looking at the bank statement and again, it was just her and her husband. They had no children left in the home. Their kids were all grown and gone, and they were in their season of life where they could be socking away a ton of money. And they were successful, obviously, entrepreneurs, but they were spending all that they were making and didn't even realize how much they were spending. So really, I want to ask you this. Okay, so you're saying, how do I grow my income? Well, what's the point of growing your income? That if you're going to grow your income, that you spend it all and you still end up feeling like a broke person. You still end up worried late at night that if something ever happened to you or ever happened to your income, then where will you be? Or what about your future? What about the retirement, right? Because again, what 98% of the population does is they spend all that they make, and this is how it comes. They end up dead or dead broke at the age of 65, depending on their family, their friends, or their federal government for their main source of income. 2% of the population ends up financially independent, not so much because of how much they make, but it's how much they refuse to spend. And that they learn to invest. They learn that money is seed, and seed comes with everything that it needs to grow, and it needs to be put in the proper healthy soil in order for it to grow. But it comes equipped to multiply itself, right? If you think about what comes inside of a single apple seed, what comes in a simple apple seed? Not an apple, but an entire orchard of apples, orchard trees, like multiple trees, apple trees upon apple trees upon apple trees. You can get millions of apples out of one single seed. That is, of course, if you are putting the seed in the right place. So I want to read this to you. We have Suzette Galen who says this. I would love to get coaching on how to increase my income, but how can I afford it when finances are really, really tight? Okay, well, here's your coaching on how to increase your income. Number one, why do you want to increase your income? If the reason why you want to increase your income sounds like this, oh, because I want to buy a boat, or I want to buy a new car, I want to be able to move into a better neighborhood, I want to be able to buy more clothes, I want to take my family on a vacation, right? If that's the reason why you want to increase your income, honey, guess what? Wrong reasons. Absolute wrong reasons. If the whole point of making more money is just to spend more money, you're headed for the same financial disaster that you've already had in your past. You're headed for the same financial stresses. You're headed for more debt. You're headed for more frustration. You're headed for less sleep. You got to come out of the consumer materialistic addiction that majority of our population is in today, as far as in the Western part of society. I can certainly say exactly the addiction to spending, the addiction to materialism, the addiction to consumerism that Canada, US, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, that all those nations are clearly in. You got to come out of that. And you want to start thinking about legacy. You want to start thinking about wealth that is generational. You want to start thinking about the future. The future. You want to start thinking about being financially independent. You want to start thinking about no longer being tied to that tourniquet, yes, and that needle, that opiate that you keep shooting in your vein called greed. That drug called buy, more, stuff, and never ever being satisfied, okay? So if you want to increase your income, you got to make some shifts inside of your heart and come up with a much bigger, better plan than just buying a jet ski for the summer, instead of just buying more junk, because more junk is not going to satisfy you. You already have a house full of junk, and you're not satisfied. You already eat out several times a week and you're not satisfied. You already have more shoes than you wear and you're not satisfied. So you really got to come down to grips with what do you really want and what's the purpose of increasing your income. This is Dani Johnson. We're going to continue this conversation as soon as you check this out. Financing a home can be a nightmare if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Ask me. I know this. That's why the first thing you have to do is find a mortgage company you can trust that has your back through the entire process. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading your current one, or looking for an investment property, Rick Fujisaki at Wintrust Mortgage wants to win your trust. Rick understands the mortgage industry, and he can take all the stress out of financing a home for you. His easy-to-use worksheets will help you calculate the mortgage you can afford. And he has a unique tool designed to help you find and set aside money for your down payment. And when you work with Rick, who, by the way, I love, a portion goes to caring for the poor through King's Ransom Foundation. So visit loanmortgageguys.com and start building your dream today. Again, contact Rick at loanmortgageguys.com. Have you ever wondered if your investments are making enough money for retirement? What if you could buy an investment rental property for as little as $35,000 that rents for at least $550 a month? After Aaron and Drew Hudson asked themselves this question, Hudson Real Estate Investments was formed, and now 200 transactions have been conducted. Their system helps individuals buy and hold real estate. Their definition of a great buy and hold is a property that pays you a monthly positive cash flow from day one. Hudson Real Estate Investments has a team who find properties available for immediate purchase, vet tenants, and have qualified property management in place. So if you're looking to have freedom and live your life on your own terms, grab your phone and text the word future to 484848. Get started today. Text the word future to 484848. Secure your future now.
Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Money, 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 money. Boy, that is the drug of choice. Isn't it? Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. We're talking about increasing our income today. Isn't it true? Think about it. Money seems to be the drug of choice. I think it's more powerful for people, and people are more addicted to it than they are what? Crystal meth. I think they're more addicted to it than heroin, more than alcohol, more than weed, more than every drug that you can line them all up. I think it is the most deceptive of all drugs. You're like, Dani, are you like anti-make money? No, dude, listen to me. I grew up on welfare. Was pregnant at 17, homeless at 21, but millionaire by 23. But I was completely addicted to money for the first 10 years of making millions of dollars. I was. The more we made, the more we spent. The more we made, the more. I think that's a rap song. I'm sure I can write a song about this. And we were never satisfied. Literally, the big houses, the 4 cars with 2 drivers, right? The spending $1,200 a month on food. And all we had was little kids in the house. Okay, like more clothes, more. I spent $250,000 on my wardrobe in 2 years. Okay, we're talking 150 pairs of shoes, $250,000 on my jewelry. Oh my. I still was never satisfied. And that's exactly what the side effects of heroin, meth, all opiates, that's the exact same side effect as of weed. The side effect of alcohol is you're never satisfied. You still want more. So we're talking about money, and we're talking about increasing your income. We have a question that says this from Joey Miller. What do I need to make in order to know that I can survive on my income and retire without worry? Okay, well, great question. I don't know the answer to that. Why are you asking me, Joey? Listen, you're the only one that can answer that. This is what people do, okay? You have to decide what's most important to you. Right now, what I'm hearing is that you're worrying about retirement, and you're worrying about the latter part of your life that might be as long as the earlier part of your life. And you're worried as to whether or not you're going to have enough for then. So what you have to decide is this: what is more important to me right now? Is it more important for me to have peace of mind for my future than it is to live like a fool today? Or would I rather live like a fool today? Let me give you the idea. Let me give you my definition of foolishness. Foolish living in the financial department, okay? 98% of the population is dead or dead broke at the age of 65, dependent on their family, friends, and federal government for their main source of income. 2% will be financially independent. Joey, that's what you're desiring. You're desiring to be financially independent in your retirement years, which is a great desire. I think that desire was planted in you from the Creator, who is like knocking on your head saying, hello, son, hello. As you get older, you might not have the same kind of energy, and your value might change in the marketplace as younger ones are coming up. There is a point, if you're not in business for yourself, hello, you do not have as much control with your income as you would like. So, son, you need to think about your latter days. And your latter days are supposed to be greater than your former days. How do you make your latter days greater than your former days? You are wise instead of foolish in your younger years. But Dani, I've not been wise. Well, how do you know? Let me show you. So for me personally, it's more important for us to feel that tomorrow is going to be okay, that there's peace, that things are going to be taken care of, that we will have enough and we will be fine. Okay, now again, there's no guarantee of anything, but I much rather live simple now. Okay, live simple now. Why? Because living simple has all kinds of benefits to it. And I mean tons of benefits to it. Like what? Less to manage, less cost for upkeep. For example, we used to have a 5,600 square foot house that was on 10 acres with a pool, a tennis court, okay, looked at the backside of Yosemite National Park on top of the mountain, okay? We were those people in our 20s, right? Buying these huge houses, $1 million properties. What I didn't realize is all the cost to keep it up. Those stupid flowers, man. We had over 1,000 flowers, and like every, couple of months, here comes the flowers. They're beautiful. Then they died. Then another set came up. So what happens when they die? Either I was going to spend $600 a month to maintain it through a landscaper, or I was going to spend 20 hours a week when I had 2 little babies and then the 2 little kids on top of that at home. I had a business to run. So it was going to cost $600 a week, or it was going to cost my time. And I'm telling you, every time we're buying something, there is a cost to the purchase of it, but there's a greater cost and an ongoing cost of maintaining it, the ongoing cost of storing it, the ongoing cost of the pressure of a place to put it, the ongoing cost of what? The ongoing cost that if we do not stop this drug, this addiction to more, guess what? Now we're adding more stuff. Now we're renting a storage unit. Do you understand? So here's my recommendation. Pull out from these addictions. Live simple. In simplicity, there's contentment. You're not stressed about someone stealing from you. You're content with little. Little is simple. I love the trend that I'm watching the millennials do, man. They're like moving into tiny houses and buying trailers, pullable trailers, and living in them. They rather live in a campground and work a good job and save a bunch of money than buy some big old house that is going to own them instead of them owning it. I love this trend because simplicity. There's some peace with it. There's some contentment with it. When you pull out of the drug of choice of all of your friends and all your family and all your neighbors, you see, everyone's an addict. They're all addicted. And when people are addicted, they like to bring you into their addiction with them. Hey, did you try this? Hey, have you eaten here? Hey, did you shop over there? Oh, you got to check this out. Notice, they're always campaigning for their drug of choice and pulling you in to their drug of choice. But when you live simple, you're not going to worry about today or tomorrow. Therefore, you're keeping more of what you make. Again, yes, okay, you want to increase your income? No, I want you to increase your bank balance. Increase your bank balance. Increase what is kept. Then you have the chance to increase your income. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this. Do you have a closet full of clothes yet say, I have nothing to wear? Are you a mom doing her best but desperately lacking me time? Or maybe your schedule has you dressing practically instead of powerfully. What if I told you there's a system, a blueprint that can save you time, money, and turn every head in the room, as well as impact the world through fashion? Friend, you're in the fashion business whether you like it or not. You're an ambassador representing your faith, your marriage, family, and business. Style is just a skill made easy with 123 Style Me. 10 steps to style success that will expand your leadership, save you hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars. This program will bring you peace of mind, reignite your marriage, make you more productive, respected, and instantly boost your confidence, equipping you to be bold and beautiful. Go to courses.lindapage.com. Again, that is courses.linda, LINDAPAIGE.com, and make a priceless investment in yourself. Are you confident that you're always getting a good deal? Have you been equipped with the negotiation confidence, strategies, tactics, and supporting tools you need to close world-class deals? Finally, JPA is making the exact same specialized negotiation training and secrets used by the world's largest, most successful corporations available to everyone. Proven in more than 60 countries and used by brands like Adidas, Vodafone, Pfizer, Nokia, and others, the JPA negotiation method will set you up to save money and time while significantly increasing your profits. It doesn't matter if you're buying or selling real estate, closing contracts with suppliers, or selling products and services to individuals or organizations. Using their simple step-by-step negotiation preparation checklist, you'll be ready to confidently slug it out toe-to-toe with the toughest professional negotiators. It's time for you to stop leaving money, and opportunity on the table. Go to bizneg.com/events to register now. Again, that's bizneg.com/events. Get registered today.
Prior to getting started with DaniJohnson.com and First Steps to Success, we were spending absolutely every dime that we made. We were really struggling financially. Since plugging in to First Steps to Success just 4 months ago, we started a brand new business that is doing very, very well. We've paid off $4,500 in debt, but the most important thing is my relationship with my husband has improved like dramatically. I mean, we have so much more fun together. You know, I don't know about you, maybe your finances, you're doing great, maybe you're debt-free, maybe your relationships with your spouse, with your family are great. But if not, if you have some areas in your life that feel a little out of control or there's things that you need to work on, I highly recommend getting to First Steps to Success as soon as you can.
Prior to being dragged out to First Steps to Success, I was hopeless. I had no point to life. It was a day-to-day existence, working a job I despised for people I didn't respect. Deeper and deeper debt every year. You just couldn't get on top of it. I just had no hopes or dreams, none at all, and there was no point to life. But since coming out, we paid off $280,000 worth of debt, married the woman of my dreams. I came to love my job and the people I work for. I have all kinds of hopes and dreams. I get to watch them happen every day. I don't know what your life is like, you know. There's probably tons of hope. You probably know why you live and you got places you're going, but if you don't, you need to sign up for First Steps to Success. You go to DaniJohnson.com and you click on it and be here, because your life will not be the same if you do.
Prior to First Steps to Success, I was drowning in debt, I was terrified of my bills, and I wanted to travel, but I never had the money. And since coming to First Steps to Success, in the last 14 months, I've paid off over $18,000 in debt. I've gone on 6 vacations, and I'm not terrified of my bills anymore. So if you want to learn some proven strategies to really learn how to connect with people, take your life to the next level, all while having a total blast, you need to get registered for the next First Steps to Success today.
Prior to coming to First Step to Success, we were totally struggling, totally under the weight of $640,000 worth of debt, making $20,000 a month, but living paycheck to paycheck. So when we came here, and I realized that it takes a totally different skill set to keep money, to create wealth, than it is to make money, I have totally turned around our lifestyle. We have paid off $640,000 worth of debt in 2 years. We are debt-free as of June of 2013. I don't know where you're at. You might have all your finances in order. You might have a wonderful life. Your marriage might be all perfect and your kids are behaving. But if not, if one of those things is lacking, you gotta get here. Book your next event. You need to be here. You will not regret it.
What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is The Dani Johnson Show.
How do you make more money? Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. This is The Dani Johnson Show. I get that question a lot. How do I make more money, Dani? Okay, well, in the last 2 segments, we were talking about, do you really need to make more money? Why do you want to make more money? But if you're still at that place of like, I need to make more money, how should I do? Well, here's a question that came in from Karen Horry, where she says, how do I create multiple streams of income? It's such a great question. Well, first of all, you have to establish why you want them, okay? And if there's a good, solid reason, that is not a foolish reason, but it's a solid, it's prudent, it's wise, then you'll go after what is solid and wise. I promise you. You'll be motivated in that direction. You feel responsible. When you feel responsible, you feel better about yourself. Because you have bought enough stuff to know that it doesn't make you feel better about yourself. It gives you that nice high, just like shooting some heroin in your veins might give you a nice temporary high. But then pretty soon it starts to control you and it starts to be a burden on you and it begins to beat you up, right? That's exactly how the shopping addictions and the stuff addictions and the consumerism and materialistic addictions happen. But when you come out of that and you start to think of, yeah, man, I want to do something solid. When you start moving in the direction of diligence and excellence, well, then now we're talking that this is being really wise and you're planning for something greater. You're adding some purpose to what you're doing versus the purpose being stuff, which is just empty. That's just totally empty. And you know it. I know it. We both have lived it and it stinks. But if you're in that place where, okay, how do I have multiple streams of income? Okay, well, first of all, what are you doing with the current income you already have? If you're being faithful with the income you already have and you're living off of 70% or less of your income, that's how you know you're being faithful with it. You're being wise with your income. And with the other 30%, 10% you're taking care of the poor. 10% is going into some asset account. If you're totally debt-free, then 10% could be in more into that asset account. The other 10% can go into charity. Or if you're in debt, put 10% towards your debt. This is what my husband Hans did with our finances and how we created wealth after 10 years of failing financially. And then, bam, we figured out, okay, we're going to stop spending all we're making. So if you're doing that, now you're looking for other streams of income. There's so many. Come on, honey. Like, what do I look like, Rabbi Google? There are so many different options out there. There really is. I know of moms that had 9 children who started making soap in their garage. And then through the trainings that they went through at First Step Success, started making $100,000 a year selling soaps out of their garage. Literally, they made the soaps. They first started making them for themselves. And then they started sharing them with some of their friends. And the list went on. And then bam. And then here they are. They're making $100,000 a year selling soap, right? And never saw it. I have another one of our clients. Okay, have you ever heard of Grace and Lace? Here's another one of our clients who's a First Steps in Creating a Dynasty graduate. You've seen them on the Shark Tank. I mean, hello, how did they start? The Hennets, Rick and Melissa. So simple. What did she do? She wanted a pair of socks that had some lace on the top of it that she would wear, underneath her boots. But she'd have this cute little thing of lace. Good little Texan girls, Texas women and lace, they go together. So here she just sewed them on there. She got frustrated, but it took her forever to do it. And what happened? Okay, she finally did it. She wore them and she got tons of compliments. She was so frustrated with how much time it took to sew the lace on the socks that she said, forget about this. I'm just going to put them, I think, on eBay or something or on Facebook, and I'm going to sell these pair and I'm done with it. Well, she got tons of requests for these socks. Tons of requests for these socks. And what happened? There's a $10 million company, Grace and Lace, right? Give me a break. They've been on the Shark Tank. I can't even count how many times they've been on it. So there's so many different things. I mean, from soap to socks to baking brownies to, I don't know. There's so many different weird ideas that people have done. And there's other ideas that fail. There's some ideas that succeed. You don't know until you try. Not to mention, listen, if you're putting away money as we've taught you, if you've been to First Steps in Creating a Dynasty and you're learning to create wealth, maybe you've got a nice little asset account. Maybe that asset account can do what? Invest into a business that you work from home, that you start little by little. Maybe you start learning how to market other people's products. There's a great win in that. You don't even have to be the developer of the product. You don't even have to manufacture it. You can actually market other people's products. I've got clients that market other people's vitamins on Amazon. I got people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year selling things on Amazon, selling things on eBay. I've got my goddaughter who is in her early 20s that while she was in college getting her PhD, she made $2,000 a month profit selling other people's junk on eBay. Yeah, she would go to the thrift stores, buy stuff that was good, stuff that was quality, mark it up, sell it on eBay, and she generated $24,000 a year profit. Profit! After all the business expenses. 10 hours a week. So, hello, there's so many. There's so many. Whether you're marketing somebody else's product, you're marketing something that somebody else threw away. I have somebody who put together an organization business. I have somebody else who started a consignment shop by what? Going to her girlfriends and offering to organize their closet, and then whatever was in their closet they didn't wear for 2 years, then she would take for them out of their house, unload them of all the clutter. And she would do it for free. What did she end up with? She ended up with a store. She ended up with all of her girlfriend's clothes that were 2 years old and older, that were not being used, barely even worn, and she created a consignment store and made great money doing it. So come on, you can have real estate properties if you want another stream of income. You can learn how to work in the stock market, making trades. I mean, you can do anything you want to do. You can do anything you want. I have kids making money, okay? I've got a homeschool student, 12 years old, started a jewelry business. Her jewelry ended up in New York City on the models on the big New York, whatever you call that thing. Making $35,000 her first year. 12 years old. Come on now. Who were her employees? She didn't have any, but she taught classes on how to make jewelry, and so she had other homeschool students making the jewelry. There's no excuse. There are so many different ways to, have multiple streams of income. I hope today helped you out. By the way, if this one helped you out, please share this with somebody else. Don't just keep this to yourself. Somebody needs to make more money, or somebody else needs an attitude adjustment concerning the money they already have. You got to pass this on to other people. And by the way, do you have this? We'd love to give it to you. It's First Steps to Wealth. You're going to get all kinds of ideas on how to increase your income. Simple little things that, me, a high school dropout kid who was dyslexic, who didn't read my first book till I was 21 years old, who was a homeless chick, and did everything that went along with being homeless, but became a millionaire inside of 2 years. It's in this book. I'll show you exactly how to do it. Go to the website, DaniJohnson.com. Again, that's DaniJohnson.com. 1 N, 1 I. DANI Johnson.com. Get your copy today. Start reading it. Apply it. Then come tell me how you increased your income. All right. So thanks so much. That's it for us today. God bless.